I'm back again, guys. My friends and everybody, well, okay, there's a person out there who wants me to put out more videos and make more big long ones. It's, you know, the 7-minute ones that I'm usually putting out. Yeah, they want those. Some people are sick, I don't know. Anyway, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm going to put one on, this is about Bruce Lee. It's not really a rant, it's more of an explanation on a lot of things, and it's kind of a big secret at the end. This is actually pretty cool. So, a lot of people don't know who Bruce Lee is. I figured everybody knows who he is because he's like, you know, one of these huge cultural icons like Muhammad Ali. If you don't know who Muhammad Ali is, he's a boxer, right? That's all you need to know, and he was amazing. Anyway, Bruce Lee was born in I think it was 1940, it's like 45 or something like that, or 40s. I should know the exact date, but I don't. Anyway, his mother thought, like, there's a premonition, or not premonition, superstition, that in China, if you have a firstborn son, there's a ghost that's going to come and take it or something like that. So he got a girl's name to start out with, which is weird enough. She even gave him an earring. He also didn't have, he had a testicle that wouldn't descend, so right off the bat, this guy's like, cursed. But it's not his own fault. Anyway, he ends up getting into some rough housing with some gangs and stuff like that. His mom puts him in martial arts to help him defend himself, right? And he gets involved in, it's really confusing because some people say Wing Chun, some people say Kung Fu, and I think it was Wing Chun to start with because he learns from this guy named Yip Man, who's like this amazing legend. He's phenomenal. Anyway, if you don't know anything about Wing Chun is the most defensive martial art in the world. It's amazing. It was actually co-invented by a woman to fight men, to fight bigger, stronger opponents, right? So, you know it's good. It's really good because my buddy Art really knows it, and you put both hands forward, like one out like this, you know, one out in front and then one close like this. The front one is your front door and this one's your back door, so you have two ways to block. It's really amazing. And the goal is to put your hand on the guy, so even if you have your eyes closed, if you have your just the edge of your hand on his chest, you can tell if he's going to swing like this, because most people wind up and turn when they swing. So my buddy Art had his eyes closed, he had his hand on my chest, and he's like, go ahead and punch. He wasn't even looking, he was looking like that way, and he had his eyes closed. And I was like, and then he was like, popped me right in the face. I couldn't even react. It was amazing. It was already blocking before I even knew what was going on. So that's just a little background on Wing Chun. So Bruce ended up getting into gangs and stuff like that. I'm just telling an abbreviated version. I'm probably leaving things out, so don't nail me, all those Bruce fans out there. He ends up getting into a really bad fight one time and really knocks the crap out of somebody, and his mom is afraid that some of the gangs, I guess, are involved in the triad, and they're going to come and try to kill him or something. So she ships him off to the States, sends him on a boat with $100 and says, okay, well, you know, later. And he was born in San Francisco, so he's actually legally an American citizen, right? So he goes on the boat, and he was giving tap dancing lessons and stuff like that while he was, you know, he's trying to make money, given he has nothing. So he's giving tap dancing lessons or cha-cha lessons. He's a really good dancer anyway. He's really mechanical in his movements because he's done them a million times. Anyway, he goes across and he goes to school, and I can't remember, I think he majored in philosophy or something like that. But he needs, you know, to make ends meet, so he starts doing the only thing he knows how to do, which is martial arts. So he starts training people. And back home in China, they're very, very xenophobic. They did not want their secrets to get out. I mean, if you look at China's history, they're very, very, very closed. It's a very closed society. They don't want outsiders in, and it's understandable. I mean, if you found out some amazing martial arts secret, you wouldn't want to pass that on to everybody else. Anyway, there's that in the Boxer Revolution, which really shows you like their history. They do not want anything to leave or people to get in. So basically, they're pissed off back home because Bruce is starting to share their secrets. He's starting to, you know, like show everything. He's like, here, I'll train you guys anything you guys need to know. He's like, just, it's an open door. And this is like one of the first times that somebody, well, probably not the first time, but one of the early times that somebody started bringing martial arts directly over. And so Bruce got into trouble, and the triad guys sent some really amazing martial artists and said, okay, you have to fight this martial artist. If you lose, you have to stop teaching over there. And if you win, you can keep teaching, because if he was good enough, then whatever. So Bruce fights this guy and does totally kick his ass, but he said it took way too long to end the fight. He was winded, he was like tired, he's like, he couldn't believe it because his movements, he was going on his Gung Fu or Wing Chun, and he said the stances were too limiting, you know, he lost energy anyway. So he decided, you know what, I'm going to change things around. This is not the best way to do it. So he really looked up to Muhammad Ali, so he started incorporating boxing, which is amazing because boxing has some of the fastest and hardest and most economical punches anywhere. Like, they're fantastic, they're fast and they're hard, and they're just... Anyway, so he starts incorporating boxing into it, and he even wanted his speed to go up, so he started incorporating, he took fencing lessons, like French fencing, like to really get his jab speed up there. He would do anything to get his speed up, and he was so paranoid, like, this is his life, of course, he knew he might get attacked at any time by any gang members or whatever, that he had to be better than everybody else, so his fear and paranoia pushed him to work out to ridiculous levels. He could do one-arm push-ups on 2 fingers like this. He could do a push-up with a 250-pound weight on his back, and I mean not like just one, but many. He was physically basically an Olympic level athlete, which is basically it's to the human potential. Anyway, Bruce kept training, and I guess people like the gangs would hire Joes to be extras on his movies. Like, he started a movie career, of course, and some extras would come up to him and call him some really bad names in whatever languages, because he spoke a lot of languages. Bruce would turn around and just rip the guy's head off and then just go back to production, because this happened all the time. People always challenged him because everyone said he was so amazing. Of course, somebody's good, you got to challenge him, right? So anyway, Bruce has had a lot of different things happen in his life. Like, he opened school, he opened his own martial art called Jeet Kune Do, which is the way of the intercepting fist, really. And Jeet Kune Do's style is to have no style, to be completely open. Whatever stance you need to use, you use it. You're not limited by these little, like, squared up stances, these very specific, like, he's basically always flowing like water, always moving, always waiting. And when you're relaxed and you're not tense, you can see things coming faster and you can react faster. So you take that, you take a guy who runs like miles and miles and miles a day, who does 1 million push-ups and sit-ups a day, he had abs that were like stone. It was amazing. And you add that all up into probably the best martial artist that's ever lived. I hear people once in a while say, oh, I think I could take Bruce Lee, or I think I'm faster than Bruce Lee. You should go look on YouTube. There's some Bruce Lee videos on there. You can see how fast he can swing. It's the guy, like, the fist will come like this, and then Buddy backs his head back because he can't see it coming fast enough. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so Bruce, towards the end of his career, had been having a lot of marital problems. He got married and had kids, and they say he was having an affair. It's not really. That was never really like fully proved or whatever. It's hard to say. But anyway, he supposedly collapsed in a bathroom. Just he had some kind of problem, and they brought him, like, somebody found him and woke him up and everything, and he was fine. And he supposedly went to this actress's hotel or her room to study with her. He laid down because he said he wasn't feeling well, and she gave him like an Advil or Tylenol, something like that, something, minor. And then he went into a coma and supposedly died, right? The thing is that I have my best friend, Nick Merzetti, lives over in the UK, and he was doing resumes for people. This is recently, within the last couple of years. And he met this girl named Christelle something or other, and she was Bruce Lee's wife's best friend, which is kind of cool. And basically, she goes on to say, like, they meet and they're talking on the phone because he's helping her do a resume or whatever. And she says that, do you know who Bruce Lee was? And he's like, well, duh, because he loves martial arts like I do. And she's like, yeah, I was, the wife's best friend, and I found out all this cool stuff. And they started talking about Bruce Lee and his events and all this other stuff. And apparently Bruce Lee was actually shot, which is a good explanation because nobody would be able to physically take the guy. It's impossible. He's like a shark on a rhinoceros's back. Like, he just tramples and devours everything. It's impossible to hurt him. So he basically talked to her and found out that, it was shot and it was a big cover-up and all that. Because if you look at the medical reports, it's inconsistent. Like, he had a brain swelling due to cannabis or something like that. Like, I think there's more people allergic to their own insulin than actually allergic to cannabis. It's inconsistent. Anyway, Bruce Lee was murdered, and everybody thinks, if you look everywhere in the internet, everywhere in the world, everybody thinks he was poisoned or had some kind of bad reaction to some kind of medication, but it's not true. So I just thought, I would share that because it's pretty cool. Not everybody knows that. Now the world's going to know it.